So today we'll just take a quick look at some information from 9.4 to 9.6. You have a review assignment waiting for you in Schoology. And then when you finish the review assignment, there's also a quiz. And at the end of the week, this week, we will start chapter 5 with actually a kind of a pre-lesson on rules for using exponents. So the biggest thing, make sure you get chapter 9 stuff done. We've only got 4 weeks left. Some of you have worked very hard to get to where you're at. And I'd hate to see you fall off here at the end. So, just keep working hard. All right. So, if you remember back to 9.4, we were solving using square roots. So we had just done 9.3, which was simplifying square roots. And then we started solving equations using square roots. And the biggest thing here, we had x squared and a number. So we wanted to get the x squared by itself. Then we took the square root of both sides to undo the squaring part. And our answer had the plus and minus in front of it, because there are two answers to every, I shouldn't say to every, well, every square root problem has two answers as long as we're not equal to 0. So that was the method, and then simplify the square root at the end. So on your review, that's going to look something like this. You'll be given a couple of equations, and you'll be asked to find the solutions. So this is just multiple choice, pretty straightforward, I think. Notice the possible choices. And then we'll have a number in front of the x squared, which we dealt with. We'll have some addition or subtraction. For number 6, you actually should show the steps. So there are some possible things that you're doing here on the bottom. It's a drag and drop. So what are you going to do on both sides to get the 3x squared by itself? And then to undo the 3 in front, what do you have to do? And so on. And then the very last step, give the answer. And then again, a couple more like that, where now it's a multiple step to get the x squared by itself and finding the solution. What has to happen for there to be no solution? If someone wants to just unmute and shout it out or put it in the chat, what happens? How do we get a no solution? No one? Oh my. So it's a no solution if when we get the x squared by itself, it's equal to a negative. because we can't take the square root of a negative number. Then we talked about when an object is dropped from a certain height. So Jack drops a penny from an 88-foot cliff to the lake below. How long is the penny in the air before it hits the water? And generally with that, we're looking at when the height is 0. So we set our equation up, and the last thing we want, or what we want to do, is solve for when that is equal to 0. And then we did some completing the square. I'm not going to go through this again. This is the exact same example in your notes on page 19. But I will remind you that when you're completing the square, if we're solving an equation by completing the square, the first thing we're going to do is subtract that c. And then we take half of b, square it, and add it to both sides. And the reason we do that is then the left-hand side, factors pretty easily. And then it becomes kind of like a square root problem. So there will be some problems on your quiz and review. No, there's the form right there. Look at that. So that's exactly what I just showed you. Perfect. On again, page 19 and 20 in your packets. Figuring out the value for C. So So for a problem like this, you want to just be very careful. This trinomial, we have 13x and 13x, that's a total of 26x. And we need to figure out what C is. Oops. And same thing, finding the value for C, and then what is the factored form? And those are drag and drop, I think. Yep, drag and drop. So you'll have to include either the plus or minus sign with the number that's going to go in there. And then you also have, there's a C equals part. All right. So completing the square, we want to get this in the form. Actually, we don't even want it in the form ax squared. X squared plus bx equals some value c. X squared is going to be positive. add b divided by 2 squared to both sides, factor the left side. So this is exactly, again, what I showed you a couple slides ago. Undo the squared by taking the square root of both sides. Ooh, it's very bad b. And don't forget the plus or minus. And then get the x by itself. So a couple of completing the square problems. And again, I will post these notes. So you will be able to reference them. Also remember on the quiz, you can use your notes. It's also set up, there will be a calculator on the quiz that you can use. If you have your own, you can certainly use that. You could use the graphing calculator app or the online version as well. All right. Questions? All right, I'm going to set up breakout rooms and then we'll meet there. Hi, Max.
Hey,
All right. Any questions?
nope, I'm good.
All right. Yeah, a few assignments out, but make sure you get those done. Okay.
Yep,
All right. Have a good day.
yep, you too.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.